Peace, peace. Another glorious day, y'all. Another glorious day. Indeed it is. Indeed, another glorious day. But of course, right? If you're watching this video, I take it and I don't doubt that you are alive and well, first and foremost, right? Let's be grateful for that. But let's get right to the objective at hand, right? So, the objective at hand is build muscle wherever you stand. Simple, okay? Now, what I'm utilizing today is, this is just a park, a playground area near the residence of my peoples, right? So I'm gonna utilize this very playground where I stand and build muscle. Let's get it. How was that done? I'll show you, all right? So I'm simply gonna get up here. So that was a nice 10 count. Not just nice, but a beautiful 10 count. Now, if you noticed, okay, the range of motion, I didn't go that far down, right? You can, but for me, it's not necessary, or it's a gradual way of getting to a deeper range of motion, but I'm simply focusing on my tricep when I do that. So it doesn't take much for me to target that muscle, right? Because if you see, just that simple movement, just me doing that, you see that activation. Now, with that mind alignment and you engaging, meaning you are fully aligned with that movement, you're connected to that involvement to targeting that muscle, you're gonna get great benefits, okay? So let's do that again. But before we do that, let's start what routine I do have in mind. It may switch up, but I'm not gonna lay out what exactly is on my mind, but follow up with seeing what's taking place. So stay locked in. So today we brought out the resistant bands. Great piece of equipment, y'all. Absolutely amazing, okay? So let me get back up here. The body is calling for it. Like I said, I go off of what the body's asking for. I feed that particular appetite. That's how I get to my workout. Let's do it. That was a beautiful 10 count right there, all right? Again, so far that's 20 reps already. Just like that, just like that. It all adds up and it accumulates with every rep of the way. Let's get it. So what I'm gonna do here is, all right, let's bring this over here. And I strongly recommend that you invest in this piece of equipment. Very convenient, very light. You could take it anywhere. You could travel with it, you could walk with it. It will You could put this in your knapsack and forget that it's even in your bag. Let's get it though. Let me make sure this camera's aligned with the demonstration, okay? That was a nice 20 count. And just from that set, boy, oh boy, did I feel the effects of that. We'll speak about the resistance band too. Again, wherever you stand, you could build that muscle, okay? Believe that. So, I'm gonna get back up there. Hit those dips again. All right? Just give me 1 second, you know what I mean? Get myself together, you heard? Don't want my garments all over the place. Put that there for now. Hear those birds in the background. This is the perfect time for you to just become one with yourself. You know, I'm a lone wolf, solo dolo type individual, especially when it comes to fitness, you heard? Let's get this money though. So on that set right there, that was a beautiful 12, okay? Just like that, that's the third set. So that make that, we hit that twice already. This set right here, make it the third time, we hit 12, that make it 32, just like that. Huh? Just like that. 70 more reps is what? 100. That'll be 102. Right? It's already 32, 70 more, make that 102. Just like that. So the thing is, when we working out, and we are accumulating our reps, right? Instead of having a mindset to where we're not giving ourselves a different perspective of, because of the work put forth with each rep gained is increasing the number of reps that you're actually earning, right? So again, the 32 I just did is 70 away, right? 68 away from 100, just like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you come out here and you get into your money, and if you happen to feel that you're not giving yourself enough in the sense of your count, right? Don't do that. Keep a positive perspective on what it is that you are offering oneself. You heard? Let's get back on that dip bar real quick. I'm just getting in my groove, y'all. Really, really. So what I'm gonna do is, because I like to keep an even count of my reps, right? So anything extra beyond that 10, right? So right now we did 30, so we at 50. Excuse me, pardon me. Let me not do the math wrong. Not perfect, so that's 40, okay? I did 12 on this set. I did 12 on the last set. So those 4 extra reps, right? Which really makes it 44. We're gonna cash out. Or we're gonna put that in the stash, right? So we're gonna keep reinvesting the rest of these reps. We're gonna keep making those deposits, okay? But we ain't gonna cash out. Or we're not gonna put that in the stash. We're gonna stack. We're gonna stack. But we cashed out on the 4. Let's get this money. All right, let's get back to these resistant bands because I want to move right along, right? Show you how we get this. Wow. It's beautiful money, you heard? Beautiful money. And we building that muscle. We building that muscle. So, let me back this camera up just a notch, a tad, because I want you to see how far I'm going back. And I'm gonna tell you, give you some feedback on this elastic band too. That was a nice 20 count right there. Beautiful 20 count. And you can build muscle with those resistant bands, all right? So, don't sleep, okay? It is a pretty simple piece of equipment, meaning it's very light, right? But if used properly, phenomenal benefits. And what I wanted to say about the elastic bands, okay? When you pull back, of course, in order to get the resistance, you have to pull all the way back with the band, right? And that's when the resistance increases. Then as you are placed to the ground, well, of course your feet are planted to the ground, but you want to pull back to the point to where the band, the resistance is so at such a degree that you could, the band is pulling you forward, right? So that's when you are able to get the work, right? Because when the band is pulling you forward, right, you're not allowing yourself to go forward. Now, keep your feet planted right where, don't let your feet move. Don't let the band pull you off your square, is what I'm saying, right? So you could give the band some, you could let up a bit with the band. Go forward, right? But you're still gonna feel that resistance. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, give the band a great deal of let up, but just enough where you still feel the tension, and keep yourself planted on your square, as I said, and then bring that band back. All right, let's do that again. See, I went back, and I'm pulling, 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 and I'm pulling. Let me get a different angle because I don't want this piece of equipment to get in the way. So let's come over here real quick where nothing will prevent you from seeing the demonstration. And just off of that movement right there, you can see the activation. You see? That's from the band work. I didn't touch no weights today, but I'm just saying, this is a great piece of equipment. You know what, that pole got mold on it. I don't even want to mess around with that. I could see it. So what I do is let's do this. Let's get it like this. All right? It's more than one way to skin a cat, you heard? So I'm gonna back this up like so. All right? All right, bet. Pardon me, y'all. All right, let's do it like this. Let's do it like that. And you can see how the band pulled me forward. You know what I'm saying? So you can see when I gave it that, I gave it to give, right? I gave it to give, but yet it still was a good amount of resistance that I had to fight against, all right? So my back is feeling fantastic from those. So let's get some Australian pull-ups because there is no pull-up bar here, apparently, right? So we make do. Build muscle where you stand, wherever, whenever. It's a nice 18. That was beautiful. And so what you want to do is, right after you hit the elastic bands, hit the resistant bands, a great superset. You follow up and do the Australians. Me, I even prefer, or at least right now, I'm good without the pull-up bar. I actually like the supersetting of the Australian pull-ups, which is what I did off of the dip bar, and combining that, again, supersetting it with the resistant bands. Great, great combination. All right? So let's get back to those Australians. My back, I feel that in my thighs. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Wow, on that one I only got 16. So that was a, woo! That was a great, great burn. Felt that. Felt that. Felt that. So we did 40 reps off of those dip bars over here. And so with that 40, we did 40. I'm not counting the elastic bands. So what I will try to do is keep count of the Australian pull-ups and the dips. So we did 40 of those. I just did, I did 18 and 16. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna keep the count, like I said, at a 10 count, but whatever extra, we're gonna cash out on that. So with that 40 just now, we did 60 reps along with the extras. Again, I just like to keep an even count. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So it's still 60, even though we know we did more. So let's leave it at that, all right? So, yeah, and that's how you give yourself extra too. You know what I'm saying? And when I say give yourself extra in that sense, at least when you keep it count, let's just say how I'm doing it with the 60 that I'm counting, right? We know I did more than 60. But what you want to do is you want to make that 60. So let's say that when you turn that 60 into 200, 300, 400, 500 reps, and you know on each of those sets of the reps that you did, you gave yourself extra, because you only counted the even number of either 10 or 20. You see what I'm saying? So if you did the 25, the 26, the 28, or you did the 18, the 16, and those sets, those odd numbers, cash out on that. You see what I'm saying? But count the rep. That's just how I do. I'm not telling you how to do it, but let's get it. You know what I mean? You get the point. If you are not familiar with how I, calculate mines, I'm just sharing with you. Let's get it though, right? So let's get back to these dips, all right? Enough said. Let's get this work. We out here. Indeed. All right, let me back this up, because I noticed on my last video that I had cut off parts of the exercise because I was way too close. So I noticed that, y'all. So I'm more conscious of, the angle of the camera. Let's go. So that was 14. So again, that's another 10. So let me just go over that count again. So I did 30. So we was at, so I did 30 initially with the extra reps on this. Then I hit the 16, then I hit the 18, then I hit the 16, but we only counting those for 10 reps on each of those sets along with the extras. So We had the 30, 40, 50. So now we at 60, right? But nonetheless, we at 60. So let's get this money. I'm gonna get back on that dip bar again. Build muscle wherever you stand, all right? This is nothing but a muscle factory building arena. A muscle, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Beautiful. So just like that, we had 70 reps. Just like that. Let's hit that elastic band now. Let's go. And another thing I wanted to point out, you don't have to use the handles all the time. You don't have to use the hand. You can simply grab the actual bands itself. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do on this set. And I actually felt the tension even more so. I felt the engagement. And just off of what I just did with that, again, it has me pumped, all right? So that's a beautiful thing. And this is the first time I'm doing this, okay? So let's get right to it. And you know what's interesting when I do that? I'm feeling it in my chest. I'm feeling it in my chest, along with the back. Is really, so I'll be the first one to mention to you, you know, listen, I pick up things along the way too, in terms of being innovative or making a slight adjustment, or, you know, something a little different than the usual, okay? And so I'm really, you know, and also very much enjoying utilizing the bands without the handles. So I alternate. So now I do it with the handles. I don't know, I felt something in those bands, but whatever. That was a good set, regardless. All right. So right after that, we follow up with those Australians. Because the thing is, you know, I think, you know, it is good material. But even if the handle's broke right now, I'll just use the bands. Simple. So let's hit these Australians, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's, yeah. That was 20. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So we left off at 70 reps, right? Along with the extras. With the 20 I just did, brings us up to 90. Again, along with the extras, right? We not even focused on the amount of extras. I'm not focused on the extras. I put that in the stash. That's that money in the piggy bank. That's that money that, you know, we count later. Oh, damn, I got this much? You know what I'm saying? That's that type of money. You are? Let's get these Australians. Let's go. That was 15 on that set, right? That's 15. So from that, we brought the count up to 90, right? We was at 70. I did the 20 the set before this one. With this 10, we at 100 now. Just like that. Just like that. Build that muscle wherever you stand. All right? Let's go. Let's get it. Beautiful routine. That was 18. So we at 110. Again, I'm not counting that 8. So we at 110. So if it's not 10 reps or 20, anything in between that, I'm not counting the extra. So we at 110. So with the 18 we just did is Only 10 reps accounted for the actual routine. Now, we benefiting and gaining from it all. We're not disregarding all the work put forth. You know what I'm saying? We just dividing our deposit. You know what I'm saying? We putting some over here, some over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me back this up. I want to make sure this is in view for real. So we at 120 now. 120 reps. Like I said, how you gotta look at it. 120 reps, 80 more. Come on now. 200. And that's along with the extras we've done. You see? So when I calculate, when I add up everything in terms of what the count is actually accounted for, so when I hit that however many 100 reps, and then I got a very good guess, or I know that a great amount of extra credit, you know? All right, so let's get back up there. Let's get back up there. Matter of fact, let's switch up. Let me go from there to the Australians. Because again, you could break up the routine too. Even though we're doing 3 exercises within this one routine, you switch it up, you know, in terms of the structure. Let me give you this, let me get the side view of that. Let's get the side view. Let me bring this down a notch. There we go, that's 20. That's 20. So we was already at 120. So just like that, we had 140. Just like that. Just like that. Then we get right back, we follow right back up while that body is screaming for more. So we had 120, y'all. 140, pardon me. Come on, we don't cheat ourselves, we don't take away, we don't subtract for no reason. Let's go. follow up, we get to that elastic band, that resistant band. That was 10 right there. So we had a 150. Just like that, 150. And also, I don't want to leave this out. I don't want to leave this out. I want to mention your core is involved with that. As you see, just that alone, you can see the core. It's more pronounced on this side. Anyway, you can see the core, right? When you pull in, using your core to stabilize you. So when you pull in, your core stabilizes you. When you pull in, your core stabilizes you. Let's do that again. That was beautiful. I think that was a 20 count. So in that set, I went a little higher with it. You see, I went a little higher with it. You see what I'm saying? So you could, again, you could go at higher points and lower points. But what I'm getting from it, okay, I can give you the feedback of what my experience is like. When I go lower, it's more core involved. When I'm going lower. When I'm going higher, the core is involved, but I have a little more, I would say, less contraction of the core involved. When you go higher, it's because it's, I guess, more of the upper body has control of you know, keeping your body in, you know, on your square, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? But I can only give you my experience, and like I said, when I go low with the band, it's you know, and the core is more involved. You know what I mean? Like I could feel the engagement. Let's get it. So. This one I'm gonna go low again, right? And that really is great for your flexibility, you know, keep you nice and primed throughout the workout, you know what I'm saying? And again, build muscle wherever you stand, you know? Wherever you stand, you build that muscle. And it's not just building that muscle. We all know that, you know, and it's not just building muscle. We all got muscle, you know, but if you want that muscle, you want your definition to be pronounced, you know, that diet. Yeah, we got to go back to that diet. You know what I'm saying? It's the main beneficiary of your gains, you know? So, yeah. So let's get right back up to that, do those dips, okay? Well, matter of fact, let's hit those Australians. Give you that side view again. Let's hit those and then we'll go back to the dips. Why not? All right, so we had 170 on our reps. We left off at 150, so we had 170 now. It's money. Follow up, get those dips. Let's go. Better yet, what I want to show you with these two. Not only can you get dips, I cannot leave this out. When we're talking about that core, let's always give it attention. It was a nice 20 count. I actually like performing the leg raises off of that type of pull-up bar with the poles like that, because I get a better contraction, you know. The dip bar's okay. The hanging leg raises is good. I mean, listen, it depends on the day too. But this is my favorite way of hitting my core, all right? So, I'm gonna get some more of those in too. Gotta incorporate that. You know? Let's get some more of those. So we just hit what I did, 20. Let's get some more. Better yet, I'll get right back to him, hit these dips. It's good money. So we at was at 170, 180 now. $180 on the reps, just like that, you know? And if, of course, if I wasn't on camera, you know, I would have been more fluent with less breaks in between, you know, but the dialogue is important for the feedback and what my experience is like, and just also sharing information as well. Let's get it. So we at 170 in the reps. 180. Pardon me, 180. Those feel fantastic. And when you holding yourself up there like that, again, you fighting with that gravity, right? So, you know, when you holding yourself up there and you lifting your legs, you feel your weight being pulled down by that gravity. You know, at the same time, you know, with a large degree of effortlessness of controlling yourself. It's a beautiful feeling. Beautiful feeling. Let's hit those elastic bands. Beautiful feeling. Excellent money. was nice. It was nice. Indeed. It's a beautiful routine. You know, you can see the body responding. Build that muscle wherever you stand. And it ain't just the physical workout, okay? It's what we're consuming, okay? I don't just do strength training. You know, my thing is to be well-rounded. What I mean is I hit weights, calisthenics, you know, I do a lot of cardio, plyometrics, you know, again, I don't eat a lot at all. You know, I'm very, I monitor my portions a great deal. I've mentioned time and time again, naturally, I'm a husky guy, you know, so I gain weight very easy. So I emphasize what it is that I do, being that I work extremely hard, you know. So shout out to all the new supporters that, you know, take a look at my archives. You know, you don't even have to scroll but so far. But I strongly recommend you go look at my archives, and you can see a tremendous difference between the start or the earlier videos when I was much heavier to this current video you watching right now. Let's hit those bands again, y'all. Those bands got me lit. You know what I'm saying? Again, I feel it on my chest, which is, you know, the triceps. You know, so today is one of those days. Just responding so great. I mean, to say the least. Let's get it. Then after that set, because again, I felt that core engagement so nice. But why not continue to feed that demand? Let's go. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And you know, you can find this type of setup anywhere. Because you know, you have these type of poles, like the very poles that are very even, pretty at a good point of closeness to each other. You know, so you can see, for example, this is what I'm saying. You know how you have the poles in front of buildings to protect the building from a car crashing in the wall. You can find, again, wherever you stand, you can build that muscle. Doing your standard push-ups, your own body weight. You could build that muscle. The only thing, it depends on one's goals. Because I like to build muscle, but I want my muscle to show. Okay, so for many years, and we'll get to this, and I've said it time and time again, I was not defined as I am now, in my mid-40s, okay? So, the diet, with the work, let's get it. It's how it's get accomplished, for sure. So that's 190. I remember what the count was, 190. I just did 10. Let's get that 100. Let's get it. 200 after this. So there we go, 200 reps. You know what I'm saying? We're not finished. Along with the extras. You know what I'm saying? Along with the extras, you heard? Let me hit these dips, man. So we had 210 with a little extra. Cash out on the extra, 210. And you can also hold it in place when you get up top like so. Let me show you. So I need work on those to fully get that L position. I'll get there though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Always room for progress. And I don't mind sharing it with you all because this is a journey and it's necessary for me to share my own levels that need to be met with progress. So let me get some more core. We at 210, y'all, with the reps. It's a nice 30 count. So build your muscle wherever you stand. That's good for your back too. It's good for your arms too. The thing is, when you do those, you don't want to pull yourself all the way forward. At least that's not what I do. You know, I like to keep it on the eye, all right, in terms of what works for me or the best response I'm getting from what it is I do. So you don't want to go, you don't want to pull too, you want to keep that, you want to link, so you want to come up slightly, but you want to stay fairly extended, more so than anything, it's sort of like a short range of motion to keep that tension on your back and on your arms. You know what I'm saying? So you hitting that back and you hitting your arms. It's sort of like a hammer curl. You know, you'll feel it in those biceps with that movement, for sure. Nice 25 count, very effective. Again, you want to build that tension up, build it up. With your own body weight, just that leaning back alone, you see? It's gonna create wonders for you, promise. So we had 210 on the actual sets we accounted for. Along with the extras, it all add up, you know? Let's hit that elastic band. Those, oh my goodness, those feel fantastic. Let me show you from this angle though. Let me show you from this angle. It's money. Then you can follow up with these again right after. Get back up here. Let's go. So as you see, I did it with the one arm. Now, this is again, a very, very huge milestone for me, okay? You may or may not know, but I've mentioned it, and I'll keep mentioning it. You see my arm? See that gash? All right? Major surgery, artery replacement, all that, right? But anyway, so as of right now, I'm unable to hang from the pull-up bar with one arm, even on my arm that's not injured, because I have not done it in 10 years. I'm mentioning this because this exercise you seen when I was pulling myself, and I'm gonna get back to a few more of those, I am able to do it with one arm. That's a milestone for me, okay? So we're gonna get some more of those in, and that's going to build me up, not just to do the pull-ups with one hand, but this is a level I have reached to this point, and I'm talking about a 10-year journey. So when we're talking about consistency, when we're talking about being committed, when we're talking about determined, everything that revolves around not giving up, this is what I'm sharing with you right now, all right? It's not a game. And if I have not done what I do all these years, it just would have never happened. I wouldn't be at this level of recovery thus far. Let's get it. So let me get a few more of those in. And let me tell you something, I didn't anticipate these today. I came over here to get a workout in, and when we do so, when we show up, and when we take the initiative and we use our minds, that innovative approach brings us, when we use our minds, that innovative, and this is not so much of an innovation. I've done this type of workout in other places. Again, I don't get into all that, but you know what I'm saying, if you could, you know what I'm saying, piece together. But yeah, so let's get it though, regardless. Not quite 20. But it was a beautiful set. That was nice. It was nice. So I also want to say this too, and this is for those who never had any physical setbacks in regard to injury, whether working out or not working out. You know what I'm saying? Imagine, if you have not already, imagine the levels you could reach with having a wholesome, well-functioning, operating body that you have not utilized yet. And that's if you haven't already. If you have an interest, if you have even a spark of desire, I strongly suggest you take full advantage of creating a masterpiece of you. You know, not everybody is into fitness. I get it. But if you're here and you on this channel, I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate your interest. But even more so, the community here at 7 Fitness, we want your participation, all right? And that participation is for your own good. It's an individual accountability, responsibility, to be an asset for ourselves first, and we can share that with others, families, friends, things of that nature, yeah? And obtain quality of life beyond what we imagine. And to start with the mind. This is not just a physical game, it's a mental exercise. Let's get these Australians, y'all. Let's get that side view again. Why not? Had to fight for that 20. So we had 230 on the reps, y'all. That's accounted for, 230. So I'm gonna get right back to those Australians. What I'm gonna do in this set, I'm gonna go to the supinated, hit those biceps. So that was 15. So we did, we was at 230. We just did 15. We only counting for that 10. So we up to 240. Take that extra 5, put that away. Put that in the stash. So we at 240. Let's go get these dips. That was 12, we'll be counting 10, so we at 250. 250. Again, along with the extra. Build that muscle wherever you stand. So after a workout like this, all right? So definitely gonna eat clean. I mean, to say the least. It's definitely gonna consume my proteins, my veggies, not much carbs, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to share with you too, I don't measure my food in terms of ounces and this, that, and the third. What I do is I know the amount, the quantity that's on my plate, and I know what is enough or more than enough that I need to consume. You know, let's get back to these dips, y'all. Let's hit our, matter of fact, let's hit our core and let's not neglect our core. Let's get a little more of that. Let's feed that core. Build that muscle where you stand, wherever you stand. I see a tree branch over here. Excellent routine, y'all. Excellent. So, we're gonna come to a close out, all right? I got things I gotta tend to, of course, other responsibilities. This is a great demonstration. You know, this is actually me taking advantage of time after work before I go pick up my son, you know? So you do have time, you know? Yes, you do. We all have the time for the things that we like to do, and we'll make that time, you know? It all depends with that desire of what it is we want to do, and it'll have our attention. That's just how it is, you know? So, let me get these dips in though real quick, because I do want to complete those. So that's 260. You know, let's finish this out. You know, let's at least, because I really don't want to go below that 300 rep minimum. So we at 260. All right, let's hit these Australians. Had to fight for that 20. He was at 260, that's 280. To get some more of that ball work over here. Huge milestone, y'all. Sit those dips. Let's hit those Australians. Break that up. Those hit that midsection. Nice. That was 13. So that's 290. It's 290. Along with the extras. You know what I'm saying? Along with the extras. And now, let's complete this 300 rep count with the dips. This time I'm actually gonna hit the dips. Let's go, let's get it, That was a beautiful workout. So before we close out, we hit our back. We hit our triceps with the dips, right? We hit our core. We hit our biceps with those pulls. We hit our back also with the resistant band. We also engage with our core with the resistant band, okay? Build your muscle wherever you stand, all right? And it's not just the exercise. It's what we consume, our eating habits, all right? So, one could build muscle, right? But me personally, I like that muscle to be revealed. I like the work to show. You understand? I like to see my artistry with this anatomy. Yo, I appreciate y'all as always. Catch you on the next go around. Huss. Peace.